Great morning, Facebook. How are you guys doing? I am Ronique West, the president of the Greater Augusta Black Chamber of Commerce. As you see, I have a full house this morning. I'm excited that we have several of your leaders throughout the city of Augusta who agreed to do this roundtable put together by the NAACP of Augusta and Joe Ray Jenkins, which is your candidate for the Super District 9. Did I get that right, Joe Ray?
Yes.
Okay, awesome. I did that from memory, so I'm good. Okay, so let me get some housekeeping out the way because we're gonna get real started really quickly here. I want to make sure that we're live first. Let me check the video, and we are. Okay, so what I want to do is just let you guys give you some quick updates on the stimulus packet. So there was an update that was done with the IRS this past Friday. If you have not got your stimulus check, if you are a resident or citizen of the United States of America, you can go ahead and check the irs.gov website. You probably will get an update of when your check is either being mailed to you or when it's going to be deposited to you this week. I did check several people's yesterday, so that information has been updated. It's out there. You guys do know the second stimulus was passed. It was signed by our president. So I know a lot of people are having questions regarding that. If you're a small business owner, hopefully you got your loans in and you're connected to the chamber. You got your applications in for the disaster loan through the SBA. You also been getting your loans in with the PPP. I did hear from a lot of small business owners in the local area, which I'm finally excited that they started to get their disaster loan money and they're hearing back from their banks regarding the PPP. So I've been waiting to hear that because it has been dragging in the state of Georgia. I know the South Carolina businesses and throughout the other areas in Georgia have been getting that in. So I've been hearing it a lot from there, but I hadn't heard it from Augusta, but I am starting to hear it from Augusta. So the processing time, from what I'm seeing, is about 4 to 5 weeks. Yes, I know the next stimulus packet was pretty substantial, but we do predict that it will be running out probably in 5 days again. So just so you guys know, but I know a lot of local cities and stuff are working on things to make sure they kind of have their own funds for small businesses. So I wanted to give you guys those quick updates. I will drop some links below just so you can access that information if you're trying to find out for your family. If you're trying to get a stimulus, if you're a business owner, check on your stimulus check as well. And then hopefully you got your disaster loan in, because I know they did take down an application for the SBA last week. I got updated that from a business owner, but if you got it in, then hopefully the money will come to you. But continue to update the chamber on all this progress and so forth. Of course, you can contact us at Linktree at MyGABC, and our email address is info@MyGABC. Tonight, we will have another webinar because it's Financial Literacy Month for the month of April. So our CFO, Devonna Ramsey, will be on, and our VP of Business Affairs will be on tonight at 7 p.m. live on Facebook. And then tomorrow, our Now leaders will be hosting their GABC check-ins. That is our millennial group. So they're starting their virtual networking sessions. So you want to join them tomorrow. They'll be on every Tuesday, second Tuesday and Thursday of the month at 3:30 p.m. And that will be Kigwana Cherry and Shagrayla Hemming. So that's all the housekeeping I got to do today. Guys, I will be in the background. So if you guys need any help, just let me know. I'm going to turn off my camera now. And Joe Ray, I'm going to turn it over to you. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Ms. West. Good morning, everybody. Can y'all see me? Okay, hopefully so. So this morning we're going to have a round talk discussion about different things that are going on into the community. You know, people have reached out to me several times in regards to what's going on with the school system, what's going on with the marshal's office, what's going on with the NAACP, what's going on with the fire department. So today we're going to have everyone come on today and give some updates in regards to their departments in the city. So this morning we are going to start with Dr. Bing. He currently works for the Richmond County Board of Education. He is Assistant Director of Nutrition Services for the Richmond County Board of Education. He has a BS in Nutrition Sciences from Cornell University, a doctorate in chiropractic science from Life University, and Serve Safe Food Safety Certification, K through 12, One Source Software Certification, and 11 great years in classroom and teaching experience. So we're going to have Dr. Bing come on today. If you have any questions or concerns in regards to the school board and the food and everything that's going on, please feel free. Dr. Bing.
Okay, well, hello, everyone. Definitely very happy to be here amongst such a crowd of celebrities here today, as I've described earlier. Basically, I'm here to discuss the food side of things, I guess, if we would want to describe it that way. So I'm going to start here from the beginning. Can everyone see my PowerPoint there?
Yes, sir. I can.
Okay. All right. So with that in mind, we know everything that we're doing nowadays, definitely with this panel that I have in front of me, is essential. And what we're trying to do is all fit under an umbrella of serving society. We're trying to do the best we can to make it through these tough times during the COVID-19 pandemic. And I'm here to discuss our actual Richmond County Board of Education nutrition services, the resources that we're attempting to provide, and basically trying to, I guess you could say, describe the response that we've given to the community with meeting needs. So as I proceed forward, please follow along, and at the very end, there will be time for any questions. What we've done with the Richmond County Board of Education Nutrition Services is basically establish methods to deliver meals to our community, to society, for individuals who may not be able to receive those meals due to financial circumstances or otherwise. Basically, we understand that food is essential. So these are the methods that we've come about. Site pickup. We have various schools that are set up where individuals are allowed to come to those school sites and pick up meals for their children. We also have community methods put in place where we've partnered with the Board of Education Transportation Department to allow us to reach certain communities and take meals to their areas. And last but not least, home delivery. For other circumstances, we're trying to cover all aspects of society. And to those individuals who need meals delivered directly to their home address, we have a method that has been put in place for them. So as I begin, I want to let everyone know that there is an actual website which contains all of the information that I'm covering. If you can see that on the bottom of your screen, this is where anyone and everyone can go, and it'll be a reference for you to understand what's going on with the Richmond County Board of Education, obviously with the nutrition services, but not just the nutrition services. It keeps you updated on our academic policies and procedures, the various things that the entire district has put in place to accommodate for these trying times. So what I'm going to do is basically elaborate on each one of these methods that I've described, starting with the site pickup. With our site pickup, it's a grab and go type scenario. And as you can see on your screen, these are the 20 plus actual distribution sites that we have set up. We've selected those due to their location being advantageous for the community and society to make it there, as well as the actual design of the schools themselves, because we're actually having car pickup to where you drive up, and then there'll be one of our employees or one of our wonderful volunteers that comes out to your vehicle and gives you the meals that you're requesting. So at these various distribution sites, the setup has it to where it's very efficient for the cars to just pull up and have a nice driveway and path to receive their meals for this curbside service. It's been going incredibly well. I'm hoping that, like I said, you'll use that website if you're unable to see all of these actual sites that are here listed, but at any time during our distribution time, which is 11 to 1 o'clock, you're able to drive up and get a meal for your children. And this is any of your children. They do not have to be Richmond County students, but any of the children in the community are able to come and receive meals. The second method is our community method, and this is, as I described before, a partnership with the transportation department where we've surveyed various communities. We tried to reach out to ones that could be most in need, whether it's from a standpoint of being in what we describe as food deserts, which mean they do not have grocery stores within a 1 mile radius, or other valid food sources. We've definitely tried to add them to this list. We were limited, so the mentality had been, well, why not have the bus drivers just continue their normal route that they do during the school year? But due to a limited capacity, and that has to do with labor, and believe it or not, just as our nutrition staff with the transportation department, a large portion of their employees are in what we would consider the at-risk category, to where they're over 50 and they also have pre-existing health conditions that would not allow them to be in these actual positions on the front line with delivering these meals. So in going through this process, we've narrowed it down to the actual communities that you see in front of you. And what the buses do is they ride through these communities. If I had to give an analogy, I would say it's more of an ice cream truck effect. So they don't go to set streets at set times, things of that nature. They just basically make an attempt to ride through communities. They may honk the horns and be on the lookout for any families that may flag them down, wave to them, and let them know that they would like to receive meals. Then they stop, and obviously, individuals come up. We have one of our nutrition staff members on the bus with the driver, and they'll distribute the meals from the bus. This has been incredibly, let's just say, productive. We've been able to reach out to a large number of individuals, and it's very fulfilling that we've had the teamwork that we've seen to allow this to take place. Third, which is absolutely wonderful as the other two methods as well, is home delivery. Now, you see in front of you this list. The font may be incredibly small, but that is why I refer back to that website that we gave you, because that's where you can actually see this. This is just to kind of give you a protocol of what you'll see when you do go to that website. We have been able to partner with various businesses, small businesses, organizations, churches. A large portion of the community has reached out to volunteer their services to actually help deliver meals. We've had individuals who may be in hotels that are homeless. We've had individuals who, obviously, due to health scenarios or otherwise just limited in transportation and their capacity. So the actual city of Augusta has come forward expressing love and the mentality that you see in front of you here, that we're all in this together, and volunteered to place their names on a list, as well as their organizations, their contact information. And what families do is, if they're wanting a home delivery, they go to this list and basically call. They try to go to one that's in a similar zip code area, even though a lot of the organizations on here deliver throughout the entire district. But they'll look for their zip code area, contact one of those organizations, and basically set up a home delivery. They can discuss the time, give any logistics when it comes to their addresses, whether they want the meals to be continued or whether it's just a one time or 1 day type scenario. But this has been absolutely fabulous, not just the operational effectiveness of the home delivery system, but the actual hearts that have been involved, to which there's no payment for these volunteers. They're doing this simply because it's the right thing for them to do, and they want to help Richmond County. So I just cannot say enough with regards to this method that we've incorporated. So moving forward, as I was describing, I don't want to take up too much of everyone's time. Um, the program logistics go as follows. We are now delivering Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. That's when food distribution takes place, and it's between the hours of 11 a.m. and 1 p.m. So if you are trying to basically go to one of the distribution sites to pick up meals, you can always pull up between those hours and there'll be meals ready for you. The buses, they go into the community between those hours. So as I said, there's not a set schedule. They may not come exactly at 11 or exactly at 12 or exactly at 1. It's kind of like during that time, you're needing to be on the lookout. If you can stay in hopefully the ice cream truck, or shall we say that ice cream bus, will ring their horn. You'll be able to know they're coming, and therefore, flag them down so you'll be able to receive a meal. And last but not least, that home delivery, that's done by telephone. So we've tried to tell our actual constituents, our families that are in need, to contact these organizations before, at least before 10 a.m. the day that you're expecting delivery. That way, that gives the organization enough time to plan ahead. It gives us enough time to let our distribution sites know that there'll be individuals coming for meal pickup. And they've also been granted, I forgot to mention this, an actual exception, an official exception through the Richmond County Board of Education to the stay-at-home rules, so that they are able to deliver these meals and be out and about during this time where I know there's a lot of social isolation and social distancing taking place. So if you are listening and you are a home that wants to have a delivery, please place those delivery requests to the organizations before 10 a.m. so that they can have a chance of getting it to you that day. I do have statistics there just to show you guys some of the data. We have been serving between 8,000 and 10,000 meals daily, which, as I said before, is absolutely fabulous. It's fulfilling. It gives us a sense that the community is definitely in need, and we're doing the best we can to fill those needs. And we will be serving through May 22nd. That would be the normal school year that will be serving. But when it goes into the summer, we've partnered with the YMCA. So after that May 22nd, the YMCA will take things over. They will have various distribution sites, methods of delivery, so that our community still will be able to receive meals and nourishment. But I thank you. That is what I'm on here for today, if not just to share information, but to share appreciation for everyone coming together and providing and helping us to provide these essential requirements to our community. And that having been said, I'm going to turn things back over to Ms. Jenkins.
Thank you, Dr. Bing. I really appreciate all that information. Ronique will let us know if we had any questions. I did have some questions on my Facebook Live as well, but you have answered them. So I just wanted to recap on some things that you said today. So,
And I do have a question, Joe Ray, as well, once you're ready.
okay, so I'm gonna just recap this real quick. So you said after May 22nd, the program will end and it will be sent over to the YMCA, which will be handling the food delivery, correct?
Yes, the YMCA, they will have 2 production sites, and they actually serve the entire CSRA. So they have various methods for South Carolina, around North Augusta, definitely other communities, Warren County. I mean, it spans a lot wider than just our Richmond County delivery, which is why we were very happy to be able to partner with them.
Awesome. And I was just happy to hear, you said Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays are delivery days. If you need to place an order, it needs to be before 10 a.m. and delivery times are from 11 to 1 p.m. on those days, correct?
That is correct. That is the attempted method. But a lot of times with home delivery, I mean, we've had home delivery organizations with as much as 200 meals to actually deliver out. So I've definitely heard comments that they're out delivering past 2 o'clock and things of that nature. And that's, again, testimony to the wonderful heart and compassion that individuals have to try to serve our community.
And I wanted to say too, I met Dr. Bing maybe about a month ago. I think it's been about that long. Because
Yes.
we too were delivering and volunteering, and he is actually correct. Once you start delivering these foods to the different families, you definitely don't want to stop, because after a while they become your family too, and they get used to you coming. And Dr. Bing, anytime that I've called and said, "Hey, today we have 100 people we need to deliver to," or the next load is 50 people, or the next load is 75 people. He was not hesitant at all to make sure that we had the food that we needed to give out to the community. And you would be amazed how many kids actually need the food, not just the kids, but the seniors. So I just want to tell you thank you for what you have done for the city. And I'm going to let Ronnie go ahead and go with that extra question.
Okay, the question that we had was just more about will the resources be shared by each presenter on the page from this live stream? So if you guys have any like short phone number or links, you can send them to my email, and then I'll make sure I'll drop them in the comment section of this live as well. But I did have a quick question, Dr. Bean. if you want to volunteer, did you go over that? How you can sign up to volunteer? If you guys need more volunteers, how you can sign up? Because I know a lot of my network is looking to volunteer.
Very good question. Basically, how we've done that is, as I have my contact info in front of you, I'm the point of contact to which volunteers, various organizations will call. When it comes to actual personal volunteering, what individuals do is they report to one of the 20 distribution sites. We only have our bus drivers doing that, and only small businesses or actual licensed, so to speak, organizations delivering to addresses. That way, we can kind of handle when it comes to accountability and things of that nature involved. But when it comes to personally volunteering, you would report to one of those 20 distribution sites. I would predict around 10:30, since the actual service starts at 11. And when you report there, the
We're getting a
manager,
little feedback, so make sure everybody's on mute. Joe Ray, I think it may be you. Make sure you lower your volume because we can't hear Dr. Bean.
Excuse
Okay,
me?
go ahead, Dr. Bean. We're getting feedback. Make sure you lower your volume or go on mute. Go ahead, Dr. Bean.
okay, so as I was describing, I still hear that feedback, but hopefully that's going to be okay. Individuals report to the distribution sites, and the manager there that's on staff, we have nutrition managers always on staff, will assign tasks or duties. Now, those tasks may range from directing traffic as it pulls up and drives through, down to literally handing the meals to the families as they pull forward in their vehicles. So any volunteer methods are necessary and accepted. We've been doing incredibly well, to where I will say, knock on wood, at this point, there has not been a shortage. But if you are willing to volunteer, there is no type of an approval process. You don't even have to contact me. You can show up to one of those 20 distribution sites at around 10:30, and the manager and nutrition staff on hand will let you know whatever is necessary, whatever type tasks or duties that they can be assisted with for that day.
Okay, thank you. That's all the questions I have.
All right. Well, thank you for everyone, and I'm turning it back over to Ms. Jenkins.
All right, thank you. I appreciate all that great information that you gave over today. Next, we're going to go with Chief James. As everyone knows, he is over the fire department. So I'm going to just read a brief bio in regards to Chief James and just let him take over. If anyone has any questions or concerns in regards to things that are going on with the fire department, Corona, different stuff like that, he's going to go ahead and address those issues today. But Chief James came to Augusta, Georgia in 1984 by way of the military. He has served 3 years in the United States Army. He became a member of the Augusta-Richmond County Fire Department in 1987. He was promoted to sergeant in 1993. In 1997, he was promoted to lieutenant training officer. He was then promoted to chief training officer in 1999 and held that position for over 13 great years until becoming the fire chief January 30th of 2012. On December 26, 2013, he was appointed emergency director for the Augusta-Richmond County. He is a certified firefighter and paramedic. He has many achievements to include, which is great, the associate's degree in allied health, a bachelor's degree in public administration, and a master's degree in business administration. Chief James is a member of many organizations to include Leadership of Augusta, International Associates of Chiefs, and the Rotary Club of Augusta. So we're going to have Chief James come on and deliver some great information to you guys.
Good morning.
Good morning.
So it's been a kind of very busy time for us here at the Augusta Fire and EMA. And so throughout this entire time, the fire department has stayed fully staffed as usual, not to reduce any services to any of our citizens at all whatsoever. In fact, on the fire department, we have, just like several of our other departments in the city, we actually canceled all vacations and all of that. So we are truly have been fully staffed, adequate people on all apparatuses so we can respond to what we feel was going to be an increase in call volume. How are we protecting our firefighters? We have assured that They all have the personal protective equipment that is needed. We've done we posted on Facebook as to how our personnel will be responding to the COVID-19 cases that we're dealing with right now. So to assure that the public knows that in some cases, you may see the fire truck or an ambulance come to someone's home on an emergency medical call. And you may see, instead of sending everybody in the house, you may see one person dressed out with a gown, face piece, mask, and then he will call the other first responders in based on what he needs, just so we can reduce any spread of COVID-19 throughout the fire department. We have been concerned that if it was to spread throughout the fire department, it could put our community at risk, because of course you'd have to send those employees home, which would reduce the amount of service that we can provide. So at the fire department, they're doing things like, practicing their social distancing. They've been issued masks that they can wear at work. They're actually desanitizing the fire departments, each station, 2 or 3 times a day, to assure that we keep the spread of COVID-19 down, to assist and ensure that we're not sending first responders home where they can spread it to their family, nor can they spread it to any of the citizens that they respond to provide service for. And so to this point, we've been blessed. We've had a few firefighters that have went and got tested, but to this point, we have not had any firefighters, knock on wood, to test positive for COVID-19. So that has truly been a blessing for us. In addition to our firefighting duties, we also serve as the emergency management department. And so we do monitor this. We are the agency that sends requests up to GEMA to assure that local agencies have the resources or can get the resources that they need. So your other departments, such as the sheriff's office, the marshal's office, other departments within the city, some of the hospitals, the nursing homes, when they have equipment, PPEs and other things that they need that they don't have, then they send their requests to us. We submit those requests to GEMA so that the state can try to fill those resource requests as adequately as they can. So sometimes we may get a request for 2,000 masks, and the state may come back and say, you can have, we got 500 of the 2,000 that you requested, because remember, they are serving the entire state of Georgia, and there are definitely some areas that are hit a lot harder than we are. In saying that, we have been keeping up with the data. Right now in Richmond County, you have, according to the Department of Public Health, we have 360 positive COVID-19 cases. We have had 14 deaths in Richmond County due to COVID-19. We will also keep the data of the entire CSRA, which includes Richmond County, Columbia, Burke, Lincoln, Wilkes, McDuffie, Jefferson, Jenkins County, Screbbins County, Emmanuel, Warren, Glasscock, Taliaferro, and also our, because we're so close to the border, we maintain the same data for what takes place in South Carolina. So we keep up with Aiken numbers, Edgefield County, Barnwell, McCormick, and Allendale County. Total in the CSRA, we have 873 cases of COVID-19 at this particular time. One of the things that we've discussed and you've heard talked about most people is getting tested. And we've here, let's flatten it out. Are we going to reach the peak yet? And I think that can't really be determined until we get adequate testing, until you get where the majority of your citizens can get tested. And that seems to be difficult because it's only a limited number of tests that they have. It is getting better. Right now, Walmart working with the National Guard, has developed a mobile testing unit. That mobile testing unit will be at Diamond Lakes on today and tomorrow. And I sent a email. You can email, you can go to their website, www.doineedacovid19test.com. They will screen that. They will give you a screening, and then if you meet the screening criteria, then they will send you to get a test. Now, healthcare workers and first responders, they still have to go through that screening, but they will be submitted forward so that they can get tested. And so definitely the healthcare workers and the first responders are kind of priority, but the citizens can go to that website, go through that screening and take the test as well. It is very important that we get as many people tested, and then it's very, very important that the citizens know if they're positive or not, and that way that can help them make their decisions on follow the doctor's orders, staying in, doing what they need to keep themselves safe. As we know, the governor this past week has opened a lot of facilities. I personally request to the citizens that, when possible, stay at home. It's not over. We've heard Dr. Fauci say that they expect this to come back in the fall. I think that we're going to move as a community to a new normal, where you're going to see people wearing masks on a routine basis. I would encourage that everyone would get a mask, everyone practice social distancing. If you're not at your own home, or you're not in your office or somewhere by yourself, or where you can have that 6 feet distance from anyone else, make sure that you have a mask on. We've heard everyone has heard some horror stories that this is actually, some young, healthy people are COVID positive and have no symptoms. And so they are carrying it, but they have no symptoms because their system is strong enough to handle it. The problem is we expose those people to, once those people are exposed to people that have, underlying health conditions, such as, high blood pressure, diabetes, any heart issues, any respiratory issues, then those citizens are not, they have a tougher time surviving COVID than the healthy folks do. And so therefore, we truly recommend that everyone wear a mask, even if you're feeling fine. You can still be positive. And so in consideration for your fellow citizens, we need everyone to wear a mask. When you're out in public, wear a mask. We are in a time, I personally believe we are in a time where some difficult decisions are being made. We don't want people to infect each other more. I personally, I ain't went and got a haircut. I ain't went, I haven't done those things. I like to usually cut more of the gray out of my hair than is there. But it is important that we are responsible for ourselves, and the tough decisions and the tough conversations that I think are going to have to take place, and is, how fast do we open up? There are several meetings will be going on, this week, determining how fast we open up the community. And that's important, I think, because some people aren't working. Some people aren't able to bring home an income to support their families. And so the government has some tough decisions to make as to how you're going to open this up and also maintain people's standards of living. And so I think in dealing with the new normal, regardless of the decisions that are made, I want to encourage the individuals to, whether the government opens up everything or keep things closed, you as individuals, practice the social distancing, wear your mask. We have to be disciplined about that. Otherwise, this won't stop. Will it be a second wave in the fall, or will it be a continuation of the first wave now? Because my concern is, at this point, we have not, in a state that has about 11 million people, we have not tested enough people to determine when the actual curve, they're kind of guessing, but when actually is the curve, we don't know because of the level of testing. It's not like they have tested 5 million people out of the 11 million. They can't test 50%. They don't have the resources at this time to test 50% of the population. So please practice that social distancing. I know some people have a very, very hard time in staying home. And now that, we've been home for about a month now, people are getting very restless. And then you have that restlessness along with some people don't have the income anymore. Some people don't have their jobs anymore. And it's going to create, some residual effects of trying to solve COVID, may cause some other problems as well. We have to prepare for that. So if they open up things in an attempt to try to assure that people can make money, sustain some type of salary, as a community, let's take some personal responsibility and making sure that you have a mask. I would ask, and I know Joe Ray is very good at getting things done, getting people to respond and help the citizens get resource. I've met her a few times. So, and so I would, how do we get masks to the entire community? How do we, let's start having that conversation. Is how do we get masks and gloves and hand sanitizer to the entire community? I think that is going to be something that the government by itself will not be able to do. We're going to need some assistance from our citizens on, if we know people that sew, can they make cloth masks to get them spread out? Can we help, take collections of hand sanitizer, and can we get as many masks as we can get so that we can almost see everybody in public wearing a mask? If we don't, we're going to have some hard days. And I think we should take this very serious because a lot of people are dying. As we've heard the reports, there's been more people in the United States, that have died from COVID-19 than died in the Vietnam War. And so it's very important that we take that serious. With that, any questions? I'll be glad to take any questions.
Real quick, Chief James, and I'm so glad that y'all love me so much with all these great first interactions, Oh boy, okay. So I did have a question. I think you had already answered it in regards to the testing, that you said you have to go through the app, and then if you qualify, then you will be able to get tested, correct?
Yes. They are testing first responders, but if you qualify, and I got an 800 number as well. I sent a note, I think, to Destiny on that email address. It's a www.doineedacovid19test.com. But there's also a phone number. If you have trouble, we do have that digital divide. So everybody's not that, internet savvy, but you can call 800-635-8611, and they will still assist you and screening you and scheduling you where you can get the test. The test had been done at Augusta University, also at Christenberry Fieldhouse. So when we had a conversation with where to set this mobile testing up, we asked them to put this at Diamond Lakes because we felt they need to be kind of spread around town so individuals can get tested throughout our community.
Awesome. I appreciate that. So just to make sure everyone knows that you can also get tested in South Augusta as well and Diamond Lakes. Now, I did have a question. Will the city provide any masks to anyone that may need one?
Right now, the city is actually maintaining, they're trying to assure that, one, we have masks for our first responders. It's a true shortage of that. We have to figure out, one of the things we've done in the past week, couple of weeks is we're trying to collect some through donations and other ways of getting some masks so we can get them to our personal care homes and getting some things to the nursing homes. As everyone's heard, we've had that breakout at Windermere. If you read the press that has came out as of lately, also we have another nursing home that their cases are rising. So what we've done, we started doing this last week, is we pulled every personal care home, and the staff here at the fire department has started calling every personal care home to see, do you have anyone that's COVID positive? Are they getting assistance? Because Richmond County has a good size personal care home community. And we have a few issues in Richmond County that other counties don't have to address because they don't have the same number of nursing homes. They don't have the same number of personal care homes. And so if you have a personal care home that's in a neighborhood and they have 10 clients that's living in a home, that could be of issue, especially where they go out and then they come back to the personal care home. You could spread it throughout a personal care home, just almost like a nursing home. And if you have that happen at several different locations, that could be an issue that we'd have to address as well. So Joe Ray, right now, I think we're trying to do that through some donations.
Okay.
But it's, there are some price gouging going on.
I'm sorry, once you give me a number for the amount of people that you have in office, I will personally, I had some masks created by Vicky Ramsey. I'm sorry, I pronounced her name wrong, but I'll definitely get your office some, like your assistant, not the whole fire department now, okay?
Okay.
Well, actually, Joe Ray, I have a business owner that is asking how to donate masks to Chief James. So just let us know how many masks you have. He actually has the N95 mask he's selling. We do have a lot of businesses within the part of the chamber that actually donate masks and they're giving away masks to the community. So if you guys are looking for masks, contact the chamber as well. We probably can put you in contact with someone to get masks and PPE, as we're still working to make sure our business owners also get that information. So you can contact the chamber at info@mygabc.org. I will drop that in the comments, but Chief James, somebody definitely wants to make sure your staff has masks. They just let me know.
Awesome.
And we have a chamber member that is doing face shields, and they are donating it to the community. You can access our link tree and request your face shield directly on our link tree.
Great.
Awesome. Now, the last question I have for you, I know you've already stated, but we had a few more people that tuned in. Can you just please tell us the amount of cases for COVID-19 within Richmond County?
As of this morning, we have 360 cases in Richmond County, and we have 14 deaths in Richmond County. In the entire CSRA, which both sides of the river, we have 873 total cases.
That's a lot. Okay, Ronique, do you have any more questions? Did anyone else have any other questions?
No, I don't have any other questions, but I'll just let all the panelists know. I will email you directly again. I'll put my email address in there. So if you have any information you want to share out to the community, you can feel free to send it to us, and we'll send it through our communication channels as a chamber. And we thank you all this morning.
Thank you. All right, next we are going to go on with our marshal. We have Ramon Lampkin. I'm going to give a brief bio on him. He's going to discuss some things that I know a lot of people are worried about and have had a lot of questions to me in regards to evictions and different things of that nature. So I'm going to go ahead and introduce him. Ramon Lampkin, he graduated from T.W. Josie in 1993. He attended Columbus State University Command College, where he studied professional management. He also holds a bachelor's and master's degree in criminal justice from St. Leo University. Marshal Lampkin has 20 years of experience in law enforcement, being elected as Marshal of Richmond County in 2016. He began his law enforcement career at the Richmond County Sheriff's Office, where he served in the detention center, the Road Patrol, and Traffic Division in 2002. Marshal Lampkin joined the Georgia State Patrol and became a state trooper, serving access across the state. He was promoted to the rank of corporal and served as the assistant post commander in Swainsboro in Washington, Georgia. He also was assigned to, Terrorism Task Force for the state of Georgia. In 2012, Mr. Lampkin joined the Richmond County Sheriff's Office to become the division commander in Traffic Safety Division as a lieutenant. He was one of 14 members of the Sheriff's Office who led the daily operations of the 755-man agency. In his division, he led 140 personnel as they helped carry out the sheriff's goal and strategies. As of right now, Mr. Lampkin is the current Marshal for Augusta Richmond County, and we thank him for coming on today to give us all this information that the citizens are graciously waiting to hear. Mr. Lampkin, you may take the floor.
Good morning. Good morning, everybody. First, we'll just start off with the courthouse. The courthouse is open. They don't have all the services, like we're not having court. The Chief Justice has suspended all court until May the 13th, so there are no court cases going on. So if you do have court cases, you will not have to respond to court. But the courthouse is open. They do have several services open, like clerk of court, solicitors. They are doing bond hearings and things of that nature. So if you don't have to come down, please don't come down. We are not operating at full capacity like the fire department. We have, if people can work from home, we are letting them work remotely for his office staff in my office, but we are operating for the courthouse, municipal building, and in the airport. We have suspended evictions, so there would be no evictions right now. We don't know when we're going to start that back up yet, because we're still looking at the numbers and seeing when it's safe. We don't want to put nobody out in this pandemic and have them out in the community, spreading it more. So we're going to have to look at the numbers. We're closely looking at that. We have several meetings set up this week, so we can try and figure out when we're going to open the city back up with Chief James and Mayor and some other city leaders. And we'll figure out when we're going to open the city back up. But right now, the evictions are on hold. If we have served you any papers, those papers are on hold. We still serving the papers out, but for us answering those papers, you're not required to answer them until the courthouse and those services start back up. So if people have like FIFAs or garnishment, things of that nature, they would not go into effect until you have a chance to answer those papers as per the court. The airport is still functioning as normal. We have the traffic has died down a lot, but we still have full staff out there for its police functions. I echo along with Chief James, even though the governor has opened up the state to do several services, I just implore everybody to stay home if you can. We want to keep everybody safe. Just shelter in place, because I don't think we've seen the worst of this yet. Just looking at the numbers. I also want to add too, as far as wearing your mask, if you're in the vehicle by yourself, I think we had a crash. I saw that on the news where a person was wearing the mask by themselves and then didn't get enough oxygen, then passed out and had a crash. So if you're in the vehicle by yourself, definitely you don't have to wear that mask all the time. You can take it down and operate your vehicle properly. For the marshal's office, that's all we have for as an update. I'll be happy to take any questions.
Okay, thank you for that great information. Now, I know you said that evictions are not in place yet. So people have been asking me when the evictions, when you guys actually go back into the office and their landlord or homeowners can submit the eviction, how does that process go? Is it still as normal, or is there going to be any changes?
Well, once, like I said, we're looking at the numbers. So I don't want to put anybody out when we still having the numbers rise and things of that nature. So that's something we're going to be looking at. We're going to be looking at. We're still discussing that. But when we do go back into full service, the evictions will still go on as planned. Now, what is going on, that doesn't mean that you don't have to pay rent, because you're still responsible for paying rent. We get a lot of those questions, people saying, well, do I have to pay rent? Now, you're still responsible for paying rent. We're just not executing evictions right now.
Awesome. Okay, Ronit, do you have any more questions?
I did not have any questions, but I do want to just kind of mention, just in case if you guys, if anybody, I know we're getting close to the 10 o'clock hour, so anybody that has already spoken, if you guys need to go ahead and drop off, I just want to offer that, or you can stay on, of course, listen to everybody, but I know we're all very busy, so I just want to respect everybody's time, so I'm going to throw that in there, but I did not get any questions right now. Oh, hold on. I just got a question from Nicole Eubanks. Are they going to be in help for people that can prove layoff? I don't think that's really a question for the marshals. Layoff for eviction. Okay, so it sounds like, okay, maybe, and look, Ramon, I don't know if you can answer this, but it's more of a question of, if they can prove the layoff, is there going to be any help for evictions? Like, maybe she's asking, can the eviction be delayed or something? And I don't know if that's something you can even answer.
Well, that's something that if they have some issues, like when they do serve an eviction, they do have a right to answer. So to send something back into the court, and then the court will determine whether the eviction is valid or not. So if they have some valid excuse, a valid reason why they can't do it, they have 10 days to answer that eviction, that notice, and then they send it into the court. Then the judge will decide whether to carry out the eviction or not.
Okay.
Okay. I'm sorry, I have one more question. I know you said the courthouse is open, but no cases. Which departments, if you could give that information, is open in the courthouse? Are they able to come in if they needed to send over any documents or file any reports or anything like that? Are people able to actually enter the courthouse?
Yes, people are actually able to enter the courthouse. If you have to file something with the clerk of court, like people doing the home closures and things of that nature, you have to file that paperwork. You can come in. The probate court is open for certain things like emergency type services. So, but if you come to get like a firearms permit, they're not granting those requests right now. So certain emergency services they are doing, like TPO, temporary protection order, things of that nature. They are doing those, but just not every day, like firearm permits and things for that. They're not serving that. So in the solicitor's office, you would have to contact Omika Loggins, our solicitor. She will let you know what services she provides. Same thing with the DA. They let you know what service they provide.
Awesome. All right. I don't have any more questions, but I do want to thank the marshal for giving us all that information. I know that has been one of the biggest questions that I have received from people in regards to being evicted. That's a big fear that people have now, because a lot of people aren't working, hours have been reduced, and it's just hard for a lot of people to make sure that they take care of their bills. So I want to give you a great kudos for that, for even taking that step to make sure that people are protected and still have somewhere to reside.
Thank you.
All right, thank you much. So moving forward, we are going to go on to our next guest, and that is going to be Mr. Hawthorne Welcher. He is currently, I'm sorry, you guys, over the Housing and Community Development. Hawthorne has served as the Director of the Housing and Community Development in Augusta, Georgia since August of 2015. Mr. Welcher's 20 years of community and economic development has led to a career and an understanding of most federal, state, and local development programs. He is a certified housing development finance professional with extensive housing experience, which has enabled him to directly and indirectly develop over 850 housing units. My God, that's a lot. Through an array of development types. Mr. Welcher is a graduate of Morehouse College from 1998, 2005 Aiken Housing Authority Employee of the Year, 2011 Chester A. Willis Outstanding Educator Award recipient, 2015 Martin Luther King Jr. Humanitarian Award recipient, 2018 Augusta City Classic Government Service Award recipient. 2007, I apologize, graduate of Southern Wesleyan University with a Master's of Science in Management. All right, Mr. Welcher, you can please take the floor. Hello.
Good morning, everybody. And Jeray, definitely thank you for that. Renee, thank you for just the opportunity to be alongside, just such greatness this morning. And I won't be long, but I think one of the things when we start talking about essential services and those things, I'm not necessarily if housing was really at the forefront of that, but I think this pandemic has really showed when you start talking about homelessness as well as reporting relief, for our small businesses, we were definitely now at the forefront of being what is considered definitely essential. So, our department, Housing and Community Development Department, Augusta, Georgia in itself is an entitlement city. It is a participating jurisdiction. That means that on an annual basis, Augusta, Georgia, not HCD, but Augusta, Georgia, receives a direct allocation of federal funding across 4 main programs. We all are familiar with coronavirus, of course. You may not be familiar with this acronym, coronavirus, aid, relief, and economic security. That's your CARES Act. That's what the CARES stand for. As a part of that, being who Augusta, Georgia is from an entitlement perspective, Augusta, Georgia is receiving $1.6 million in federal funds across 3 main programs. We're receiving approximately a little over $100,000 through our housing opportunity for persons with AIDS. So to provide services and potential housing for persons who have AIDS. Augusta, Georgia is also receiving a little over $500,000 through our Emergency Solutions Grant Program. That's to provide services and housing for persons who are considered homeless. And then Augusta is also receiving a little over $1 million through its CDBG or Community Development Block Grant funding, of which for the most part will be used to help provide relief for small businesses. Now with that, where are we, what are we doing in regards to trying to provide relief? Really just want to talk about 2 things real quickly. One, that's the homelessness aspect. When people think about homelessness, there are really 4 main types of homelessness. The one that most people know when you see persons on the street holding the signs, that's what we consider chronic homelessness. You also have what is called episodic homelessness. That's where, have a person who suffers maybe from a substance abuse and they sort of go array every now and then on different episodes. Maybe 3 or 4 times a year, they have to seek shelter. Then you also have thirdly what is called transitional homelessness. That's potentially where a person through a domestic dispute or something is put on the street for one night or something like that. And they may have to seek shelter one night. And then the one that a lot of people really don't know about is called hidden homelessness. Hidden homelessness is where, you have a person who's just sleeping on somebody else's couch that we would never know about. So why do I bring that up? I bring that up because through our commission, who has approved a hotel relief for the homeless. So I'm proud to say that Augusta, Georgia has 7 partnering hotels who have agreed to be able to house homeless during this time. Because we talk a lot about what we talk a lot about. Chief just talked about sheltering in. Okay, well, we all are in our nice habitation, whether that's apartments and or housing or townhomes. But what about the homeless that I've just described in those 4 different ways? Where are they sheltering to? When we have 2 shelters and we have 2 rescue missions here in Augusta, Georgia, that are all at capacity, and if you leave, you cannot come back in. So what about the other 200, 300, 400 homeless persons? Don't quote that number. But what about the other homeless persons on any given night? Where are they sheltering to? Thus the reason for the relief due to our various partner hotels who will remain nameless. But what I will say, if you all know of cases of persons who are considered homeless, what I will direct you to is our Marion Barnes Homeless Resource Center. What we're doing is we have a intake process. So if a person is deemed homeless, we are intaking them from a process perspective, making sure we are assessing and we're vetting them the right way before we place them in a hotel, because the mindset is when the pandemic subsides and we flatten the curve and we move on, it's not necessarily about just housing them right now, but it is about the transitioning them into permanent housing situations. So we feel very good about where we are. So if there are persons who you know are homeless, I would tell you to call the Marion Barnes Homeless Resource Center. That number is 706-724-8588. And last but not least, we all know about, Chief James also talked about a haircut. I hadn't had a haircut in 6 weeks myself. But with that point, we know that there are several small businesses that are definitely hurting and are in need of relief. So just saying that is not really enough. So when we talk about small businesses in our aspect, we're talking about those small businesses that employ 10 full-time employees or less. And I'll leave it at that. So we're currently working with the Augusta, Georgia Commission and the mayor's office now. We anticipate between now and probably a week from now that we will be able to sort of put on the street a small business relief program. Like I said, we're finalizing that with our commission and with the mayor now. So just very excited about being able to provide these resources and get these resources on the street here soon. And so just stay tuned. We'll be sure to provide the information where necessary. We'll also be able to provide what the process will be in regards to where persons can get applications. Of course, they'll be able to get it online off our website. But we also, with the digital divide, want to be sure that people can tangibly pick up applications as well. So just excited to be in a position to be able to help the homeless, as well as here soon small business owners of Augusta, Richmond County as well.
Awesome, great information. We appreciate you. Ms. Ronique, do you have any questions in regards to the Housing and Community Developments Department?
Nope, I have not got any questions. I
Okay.
did drop the Marion Barnes Homeless Resource Center information in the comments already.
Okay, so I think one person had another question in regards to the small business. Is it a small business? I'm sorry, I didn't hear all of it. Your small business partnership in regards to what you would be able to help the small businesses in Augusta, Georgia that are going through tragedy at this time.
So for the most part, to summarize it, don't want to get into specifics, but it's any small business that's providing a service for the good of the community. I mean, that's really the best way, to put it. If it's a business that's providing a service for the good of the community, then for the most part, they will be eligible. Of course, those vices, liquor stores and things like that would not be eligible. But for the most part, any business that's providing service for the good of the community from a mission perspective will potentially be eligible. But that is a part of the actual application itself. And as soon as we get the approval, I promise we will move it forward, which speaks to eligibility and ineligibility as well.
Okay, and if anybody needs that service, is there a contact information for your office?
Yes, I will tell you now, they could call 706-821-1797 and ask for manager Daniel Evans. I'll provide that information as well. In a minute, I'll email that information as well, so that you all don't have to try to remember. And I think another great thing about it is what we're trying to position is to be sure that the funding that we provide is in a position where businesses are able to sort of have relief and not be in a position to be able to make monthly payments. That really doesn't really do us any service. But once again, can't speak too much about it until we get approval through the commission.
All right, thank you. If there aren't any other questions or concerns for the Administrator of Housing and Community Development, we're going to go on to our next guest, and that will be Ms. Destiny Kincannon. Thank you, Mr. Welcher. All right, so Ms. Destiny Kincannon, best known by the inspirational Destiny Inspire. The empowerment juggernaut is an Augusta native and award-winning speaker, certified life coach, author, and CEO of Destiny Inspire, LLC. Her movement focuses on empowerment, impacting, and inspiring goal-driven women to tap into their purpose in order to live the life that they not only desire to live, but were designed to live, and serve her community serving through her community. Destiny has been recognized in various magazines and articles. Upon her transition to Atlanta in January of 2019, she was named Atlanta's fastest growing entrepreneur expert by Rolling Out magazine, and has been honored in Atlanta City Hall as one of Atlanta's 25 Sisters in Superpowers with Mayor Keisha, and featured in Vogue ATL, I'm trying to read this, publication. So we're going to let Destiny come on real quick and just talk about some of the things that entrepreneurs have reached out to her, how to still maintain and hold on to your business. All right, Miss Destiny Inspire.
Hey, Jeray, thank you for that. There are a lot of small businesses, of course, in our city, and many people already know that Georgia was already approved for, disaster relief. All of our counties were deemed, I think 159 counties were deemed to really be able to accept that funding. Now, we do know that the first funding ran out. However, as of today, the PPP program is back in effect. I think about 10:30, you're able to go ahead and submit your applications again. Our president did pass for us to be able to get more funding into that. So you definitely want to take advantage of the payroll protection program. Again, that does relaunch starting today. So small businesses definitely want to reach out to that before it runs out again. Again, there probably are a number, not probably, but there are numerous applications that are probably still in that queue that were submitted that have not been approved as of yet. However, I think it's very advantageous to still submit that while that funding is in place. Pretty much what that does with the payroll protection program, it was essentially designed to help provide incentives for all of our small businesses to keep their workers on the payroll. It also has loan forgiveness programs. So as long as you keep your employees on the payroll for 8 weeks, the money that you're issued, you can qualify for forgiveness for that. And of course, there's also been questions about what about like my business, what about LLCs, what about businesses that may not have employees, may not have 2, 3, or even 5 employees? Well, based on the loan, the SBA regional director or administrator, Mr. Ashley Bell, he did state that LLCs are able to apply for this as well. Now, as far as you being able to receive it, or you actually getting it, that that I can't determine, that I cannot tell you, but I would say you still can apply. LLCs, independent contractors, and although you are more so known as like a micro enterprise, versus you're still a small business, but you could best be categorized as a micro enterprise, you still want to take that opportunity and really apply for that. So again, today is when it does relaunch officially. I'd say about, I think they said 10:30 is when you can begin to go ahead and put your applications in. Now, there's another program as well. Now, this program, although it did run out of funding as well, I would still keep it on your radar in the event that more money is allocated to it. There was a request for another at least $50 billion to be put back into this. And this is the EIDL, which is EIDL, which is the the EIDL. What that does is that's something that also a lot of people don't know. Nonprofits as well as churches can apply for this as well. And with that, that also is another loan. Again, although the funding for it has ran out as of now, that's something to keep on your radar because it's something that you definitely want to take advantage of. I know churches are impacted a lot coming into this pandemic as well. Not just the small businesses, but churches operate as well as those nonprofits. So again, that's the economic injury disaster loan, EIDL. You also hear referred to as EIDL. Again, funding has ran out as of now, but again, that may be replenished as well. Again, there was a request to put in another $50 billion into that, in addition to the PPP program, which also ran out but has been reinstated. Now, the SBA did also, but I do know that that admin Ashley Bell, that he did mention that they also had they rolled out, of course, the SBA loans. Now with that is strictly 100% SBA funded. It's not through a bank. There were some issues with that when it first rolled out, however, because there was something where the banks were somewhat kind of picking whom those loans would go to, although they're not the ones that were paying it back anyway. It's 100% through the SBA, but they were kind of picking who would receive those loans. So there was an issue with that, but that's something I can't guarantee that they still have funding on that either. But these are still things that you want to keep on your radar, because if they do put funding back into them, you want to be aware of it, and you want to know what your options are. So I do say that's definitely something that you want to keep an eye out for, something that you want to keep on your radar. Now, apart from with the PPP program, payroll protection program, there's also lenders that are not banks, because the PPP program, of course, that is done through banks, but there are additional resources and other lenders who are not banks that you definitely can utilize. A few of them, Funding Circle, Fountainhead, Blue Vine, Cornerstone SBA lending. Now with the Cornerstone, they don't do sole proprietors or independent contractors, but that's still something that may be advantageous for small businesses to look into with that. So we definitely want to take advantage of that as well. And even with businesses, I'm big on collaborating and working together. So I can even just encourage small businesses to work together with one another if possible. Business was built on barter. So if there are ways that you can reach out to other people and see if there are resources or things that you guys can exchange or work with together, and helping our community and helping one another. I definitely would recommend that we all do that. A lot of businesses are suffering that I've known of. And again, I'm a native of Augusta, so I'm actually here right now still. And so a lot of people have reached out about that. And so I still recommend definitely do your research too. Like I feel like we have to not just leave it up to others to tell us what's out there. We have to take that initiative and really look into what is out there for us. There is funding out there. There's money out there. Yes, it's running out, but there's something somewhere. We just have to really work together and come together. If you know of something that can help someone else, you definitely want to make sure that we all keep this all in this together mentality, and that we're all reaching out to one another. But those are really some of the big ones. Again, the payroll protection program that does again relaunch today. It was refunded, so you definitely want to make sure that you take advantage of that. Again, that's left up to their system as far as how it's going to be distributed, but it would be advantageous to reach out and apply for that. Even with the SBA loan that was given out, if there is still funding with that, that's something that you really want to take advantage of, because that's opportunity even in a crisis that we may not get even as small businesses without a crisis. So there's a lot of advantageous things that are in those loans and in some of those grants and some of those forgivable grants that you don't have to pay back. So that's pretty much it, Jeray. I just really advise people to just do your research. A lot of times we fail for a lack of knowledge, and we're all in this together, but we have to not just rely on what's on the headline news to see what should I do. Like, we have to really be adamant about what we've been graced with our businesses, with our services to others, and really dig out there and see what we can do. And when you get that information, we have to share it. We have to be willing to share our knowledge with other people and help our community out. So that's really
all right. Thank you. That was some great information from Destiny Kincannon, also known as Destiny Inspire. You can follow her on social media, on Facebook and Instagram. And you can also, I always promote her, everyone. Tune in Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 6 a.m. for prayer. If there are any entrepreneurs out here that need any information, need some encouragement, please contact Destiny Kincannon. She has some great information for you that I'm sure she'll be more than willing to give you personally. Thank you, Miss Destiny Kincannon.
Okay, so yeah, I did get a question, Jeray. Can you hear me fine? For Miss Destiny. So I know they said recap the alternative funding sources. Now, I just want to kind of just say thank you for that recap, Destiny. That was awesome. We did an intensive webinar with Austin Thompson about a week and a half ago. I did drop that in the comments. That is on our YouTube channel. So I do encourage all business owners and entrepreneurs to listen to that broadcast. I think it was about maybe about 45 minutes. He answered pretty much every single question Destiny recapped it for us in detail. So you want to go listen to that broadcast. I did drop it below. And then Destiny, someone asked for you to recap the alternative funding sources, and I'll probably add some to it. So if you could do your recap and I'll do a quick recap too. Dr. Bean, we do thank you for joining us this morning. I know you got to get ready for the preparation. So thank you for all you do for the community.
Okay, yeah. So one of those resources is called Fountainhead. Also, and I can send you the links and information to them specifically if they're not already in your resources. Blue Vine, that's BLUEVINE, Blue Vine. Cornerstone Lending, and that one is not for sole proprietors or independent contractors, but it's still for small businesses. That's just a few. Then Funding Circle. That's also a resource. And there's also some other resources that you can get information and just help you with business as far as like mentoring and coaching and just information. I know there's SCORE, SCORE, SCORE. That's a free local mentoring for small businesses. So you want to look that up and take advantage of that for free mentoring for your business. This is a great time to really reach out and get those resources that are available. The Small Business Development Center, I know through UGA, they usually have some courses and some that are free and some things that you can take up and just really learn more about business and really help yourself out. So those are just a few, and there's a list of a lot more non-banks that are lending money as well. So I'll give you that information, Ronique, for you to post. But there are several others as well that don't go through a bank that are offering some type of help or loan or grant through the PPP program. So, but I'll be sure to give you that information.
Thank you, Destiny. So once we get that information from Destiny, I will go ahead and drop that in the comments as well. And we'll send out these resources, of course, via our email list. So you guys can join our email list on our link tree. Again, you don't have to be a member of the chamber to get this information because we're here to serve the community, but just some different type of alternative funding. I know the $60 billion that was approved here last week, the CDFIs and everybody that is a credit union and so forth that is set up for SBA and so forth, they are looking to see what part of that funding they will get. I know we'll have an update here soon, today sometime, on really what's happening with that. But that's what you really want to look for is your CDFIs is in your local community, your SBA lenders and so forth, and those that are credit unions. So that was the $60 billion that was approved last week. They're supposed to go directly to those sources, which of course helps our small business community and our Black businesses to get the funding and so forth. They have a lenient process. The Beaufort Black Chamber of Commerce is an official micro lender in CDFI. So as we get updates on that, we will provide that information out to the community as well. That is one of our partner chambers that we work with constantly throughout the Southeast, as well as for Nicole Eubanks. She asked a question about what loans are for businesses that do 1099, because when you take 1099 out, that hurts very important business owners and communities and provide great services. Personal care homes and our RN nurses and others also do qualify for essential workers pay. Nicole Eubanks, we are definitely addressing that as chambers and organizations throughout the state of Georgia. We know that our 1099s have really been missed through all the actual funding that has happened. So we are looking into alternative funding sources for that. We're looking for a solution. We actually have a couple 1099s that are trying some different things out to see if that works for them. So as we get updates on that, we will let you know. But yes, we do know that 1099s definitely have been missed, and we have been advocating as chambers and leaders to make sure we do, because that covers a lot of our barbers, beauty salon owners, our assisted living facilities and so forth. So we know that you guys definitely need that assistance. So we're working hard to that. So my encouragement to you is to, first off, make sure you connect with the chamber, because as soon as we find out about the 1099 strategy, we will be posting that out. I was on a call till about midnight last night talking about the strategy for the 1099, because we feel like every other business has been addressed besides the 1099s. So we will get that information to you. So be sure you connect with the chamber. And Joe Ray, I will turn it back over to you.
Thank you. Okay, so last but not least, I am more than happy to introduce my president of our local NAACP, in which I'm honored to be a member and also be the president over the political action chair. So I am glad to welcome Mr. Melvin, Reverend Dr. Melvin Ivy. Pastor Ivy is a native of Warrenton, Warrenton, Georgia. He grew up as one of 12 kids. Wow. He was educated in Warren County School System. Pastor received a Bachelor of Arts degree and a Master Divinity degree, a Master degree of Theology in Columbus, Georgia. He later received a Doctor of Ministry degree for the state institution. He is a member of the First Bayside Baptist Church in Augusta, Georgia. He is also the local pastor here of the Greater St. John Baptist Church. He oversees weekly tutorial programs at the church. He oversees a summer enrichment program aimed to bridge the gap for students, preparing them for upcoming school year, both academically and socially. He has retired 32 years with the United States Postal Service, 15 years of supervisor of customer service, and 6 years of a manager of customer service of Forest Hills and Fort Gordon Post Services. Pastor Melvin Ivy is married to the lovely Linda L. Ivy, and they have one daughter, one son-in-law, and three awesome grandchildren. So we're going to let the pastor and the president of the national branch of the NAACP come on. All right.
Reverend Ivy, make sure you get off of mute. We can't hear you. I see you talking.
Okay,
Thank
can you
you.
hear me now?
Yes.
Yes,
All
sir.
Thank you all so much.
We can't hear him.
I think his internet just froze, so give him a moment.
Okay.
Reverend Ivy, if you can move to a better connection.
We apologize about that, y'all. We're just having some issues.
I'm going to continue to talk while you all do what you do, unless Jeray has me muted again.
No, you're not muted, sir. You're good. So go ahead and talk. It's just that your internet connection is going in and out.
Okay, unfortunately, until he comes back, I can just give you a brief update. The NAACP is partnering with a couple of the nursing homes here to provide masks to our seniors to make sure that they are taken care of. We have also been working hard with the sheriff's office in regards to making sure that inmates are tested and have been taken care of during this time. There are some other things that the president is going to relieve once we get him back on. Okay, are we going to be able to hear him?
Reverend Ivy, is there any place you can move that has a better internet connection? Are you hardwired into your connection? It is really your internet speed that is dragging, and you're on mute, so unmute yourself.
All right, you guys, we're going to give him a brief moment.
Okay, we can hear you now. Oh. Click unmute again for me, Mr. Ivy.
Okay, hear me now?
Yeah, we can.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear
All
you.
right,
Is
thank you
this
very
your
much. Like I was saying briefly, you can hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, as long as you can hear me, that's fine.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm not a big fan of being on TV anyway. Let me just say this, Ms. West, thank you so much. You and the Black Chamber of Commerce, and just want to thank Jeray again. Just let me just jump right in because we've been here for a quick minute. Want to share with everyone the NAACP.
Joe Ray, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna send you the conference line and
Okay.
see if Reverend Ivy can just dial in.
Okay.
Okay. You can do that.
All right.
And I think that'll be better for him because his internet connection is slow.
And we do apologize about that, you guys, but
in the meantime, we answer any other questions while we get Reverend Ivy set up. If there are any other questions for myself, Mr. Welcher, who's still on, or Destiny Kincaid, who's still on the live, while we get Reverend Ivy into the call, let us know, please.
Well, Ms. Ronique, if you can give us a little more information in regards to the Black Chamber of Commerce, actually what you guys do here for the city, some of the partnerships that you have in regards to small businesses, that would be great.
So what we do is we're definitely advocate for small business owners within the Augusta, Richmond County area. We cover the entire CSRA. So our membership does stretch all the way up to Columbia County. We have been in the area for approximately 3 years. So we are one of the newest organizations within the CSRA. So we are still a growing organization, as I would like to say, but then we want to make sure that we advocate, that we offer each year. So I'm kind of trying to also send you this email. So bear with me, guys, while I'm talking, and also I'm multitasking, but I'm going to still go ahead and give you the information. But we also offer each year, we do a theme. So like the first year, I think we focused on certification. So we made sure that our business owners knew the information about certifications, how to get certified with your federal, the state, or the local government. So you can do business with government, because that really is a great way to get revenue into your small business. So we encourage our business owners to get all their paperwork in order, make sure they have everything they need so they can take advantage of the opportunities. We partner with the Augusta Compliance Department. We want all our business owners in the CSRA to get on their LSBOP program. That is really critical so they can do business with the city as well. We also want to make sure that our business owners are just informed. So our first year was certifications. Our last year, we focused on financial literacy, which we ran the whole Empower You with Fifth Third Bank last year. And we talked about financial literacy, not only for individuals, but also for business owners. The reason why we do that is because we know that the Black community is infected uniquely by different things, as far as structuralized things that kind of prevents us from having access to capital and so forth. So we always try to address things on a individual and a business owner level, because a lot of times that is what we're impacted by as Black entrepreneurs or Black business owners and CEOs and so forth. So we constantly are doing those type of resources. This year, we're all about purpose partnerships. So you're going to see some great partnerships continue to come from the chamber this year. We did a big partnership this year that we will be highlighting more with the Clubhouse, which is at the Cyber Center. So you'll see us partnering with them, doing a lot of networking events and so forth as we get into the tech space and as they get more into the entrepreneur space. So we're really excited about that partnership. And as we, get things back to the new normal is what we're telling everybody, we will continue to do that. But as a member, you get advantage of course, our membership discounts. The chamber members, we've been really making sure that they are able to get virtual as quickly as possible as we get into the new normal. Make sure they get access to any information we get. We always do send it out to the community, but as a member, you will get access to it first. And then we do small business roundtables every Friday morning at 9 a.m. That's truly where all our members get on the phone. We just have a roundtable to hash out any problems that they're experiencing through the COVID-19 to make sure that we can give them the resources that they need during this time. So we are very instrumental in supporting the Black businesses, the small businesses throughout the CSRA. We are a multicultural chamber. Our direct information is more for small businesses and Black business owners, but we are multicultural, meaning we do have our base that we have small businesses owners that come from all cultures. So don't think we're just open for Black businesses. I get that question a lot. We always say we walk in the room once, we say Black is in our name, and that's it. We're all about business structure and making sure we get our business owners where they need to be to take advantage of all these opportunities that the great cities, the federal, state, local have for us. So that's what we're here to do, and that's what we've been doing as an organization. I wanted to also mention we have our Financial Literacy Month this April. So we have our webinar tonight at 7 p.m. Joe Ray put me on the spot. And then we also have our webinar tomorrow, Tuesday from 3:30 p.m. With our Now leaders. So tonight will be Leah Abney, which is our VP of Business Affairs, and Devonna Renzi, which is our CFO, who's a QuickBooks expert. So she also works on personal credit and also financial. So she is a gambit of information. And so we're excited to have her on live tonight. She can help either your business or your personal finance. So she's going to give you a wealth of information this tonight at 7 p.m. And then we also have our Now leaders who are doing their virtual networking kicking off tomorrow. So you want to join the chamber page, Facebook Live for that. I think it will be a webinar and Facebook. So you want to join for that. And then we're here to advocate, grow. We have a strategic plan that we're just running for the next 5 years. We also work with all the Black chambers throughout the Southeast. So we do calls with the Southeast Chambers leadership, some mayors and everything, Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, especially during COVID-19, to make sure we're all coming together as leaders and organizations in the community to get out what we need to our community. So hopefully that was a good gambit of what we do as a community. I see Reverend Ivy rejoined. Let's see if we can hear him now. So Reverend Ivy, are you able to hear us?
Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. You sound like you're better now. And I'm going to send Joe Ray this number. Because you can also call in as well.
So I could
Go
come
ahead
in
and speak.
He sounds a lot better. I can hear him now.
If I can get your landline, I would call in on your landline. That would probably be a lot clearer.
Yeah, I'm going to put it in the chat.
But while you all...
If you text me Reverend Ivy's number, I will text him the number to call in. So bear with us, guys. We are live. You know how lives go. We are entrepreneurs and CEOs. We do not quit. So we're going to get Reverend Ivy on the line so you guys can hear him properly. I know a lot of people are on live right now. They want to hear from you, Reverend Ivy. So we're going to get you on so we can hear from you.
Mr. Welter, do you have anything else to address while we wait on Pastor Ivy? Did we lose him?
I'm going to call him and help him get on. Joe Ray?
No, I'm saying, did we lose Hawthorne?
No,
I'm here. I'm here.
Okay.
You know, I think, you know, from my perspective, I think it was when you start talking about small business, and I know that they were, I think for any entrepreneur, it would really behoove them to look at all of these resources and not just one. I know that there were questions in regards to if you receive, you know, from Augusta, you know, could you receive funding from other funding sources? I would probably say absolutely. You know, so it's going to be a key where a lot of max amounts that small businesses are able to sort of obtain. I'm seeing $15,000, $20,000, $25,000 in those things, which, you know, for the most part, go ahead and start getting your documentation together in regards to, because what it is basically from our standpoint, more of a reimbursement basis, you know, based on the expenditures of what you're able to sort of show, you know, how you've exhausted and how you lose out over. We're really going to be looking at the first quarter of 2020, you know. So, you know, my thing is, you know, get your paperwork in order so that, you know, when you have these opportunities, you're able to really take advantage of them. Because one thing I can assure you is that, you know, funding is not just at an unlimited basis. You know, funding is limited, and, you know, first come, first serve, those things. So we want to try to help as many people as we can. So I would just sort of add that.
Okay, and can you provide your contact information?
Contact information, Manager Daniel Evans. He can be reached at 706-821-1797. So either Manager Daniel Evans or Supervisor Lacina Turner would be your points of contact.
All right, thank you very much for that information. I know our small businesses in Augusta, Richmond County are grateful for you and your department and for everything that you're going to help them do, as well as the Black Chamber of Commerce. So don't go anywhere. We may have another question. So far, one hasn't come in, but just give us a moment, okay?
Yes.
All right, Ronique, are you back?
I'm still on with Reverend Ivy, so give a second, but Hawthorne did get a question, but it's on the chamber page, so I'll try to read it, but let me try to get Mr. Ivy in first. Okay, I believe he may be getting in, so the question for Mr. Welcher is, you mentioned small business grants which go up for the commission approval soon. Do you have a potential timeline for approval or disbursement?
I would probably say within a week's time frame. We know that we have a commission meeting on the 5th, which is next week. It is my hopes in conversation with them today and tomorrow that, they may typically, sometimes they call emergency meetings the same week, which will be this week. But we do know that we have a meeting on the 5th, which is next week. We know we have a meeting then. So I would probably say, that if there's no emergency meeting called this week, that you will, for the most part, this item would go before them on the 5th. We anticipate with their approval that we'll be ready to go ASAP. We're being able to flood, just information out from a communication standpoint, our website, Facebook, IG, Twitter, all of those things, as well as news outlets in regards to exactly how our area small businesses can begin to acquire applications and the process of bringing the application in. And we want to be sure that we have a seamless process once we have complete applications, that we aren't taking too long to review, vet, and make approvals as well. So this is something that is ASAP type of ordeal for us right now. And this is something that's at the forefront.
Okay, so I have Reverend Ivy. Reverend Ivy, hold on for a second. Just to kind of go back on what Mr. Welcher say. So as small business owners, we've been doing a lot of webinars. We've been, as the chamber, we've been on a lot of webinars and everything. And that webinar that I dropped in the comments, it really goes through what you need to have as a small business owner. So as Mr. Welcher says, you want to go ahead and get your tax documents out, get your QuickBooks statements out. Make sure you have all your information out. Also understand, as a small business owner, what do you need for the next 6 months to run your operations? Understand your numbers. That is very critical. You want to know what you're going to be asking for when you apply for these loans. There's a lot of different loans and lendings that will continue to come out as we deal with COVID-19. So make sure you go ahead and get all your paperwork in. If you're not quite sure what you may need or so forth, you can contact the chamber. We'll send out lists of kind of things you will need. We have had definitely our members who have applied for the PPP that are going through the process right now. So we do have a list of kind of what the SBA is requiring, so we can send that information to you. But you want to go ahead and get everything in order and make sure you understand what you may need as a business owner, even as an individual. If you know that I've been going live all through the month of April with a lot of resources just to make sure as a community we are taken care of. But if you notice on the last financial live I said as an individual or business owner, you want to understand for the next 6 months what you need in your household as a budget. And as a business owner, you need to know what you have in your house as a budget as well. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and bring Reverend Ivy on, and you guys let me know if you can hear him. So hold on. Reverend Ivy, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Can y'all hear him loud and clear? Can everybody hear him on the live? Please let us know.
Yes, yes.
Okay, so go ahead, Reverend Ivy.
Okay, thank you so much. Apologize for the technical difficulty. Want to thank Ms. West and Jeray for orchestrating this great event. And to all of the panelists, thank you so much for that wealth of knowledge that you shared with us. Let me just jump right in right quick. The NAACP is a civil rights organization. It is not a social organization. And we just want to make sure that people understand that we don't jump on everything that's out there simply because we deal with a lot of legal side of dealing with discrimination and racism. So having said that, a few months ago, the Secretary of State for the state of Georgia sent out absentee ballots. And even though it appeared to be a great gesture, they're still trying to figure out how to block you from voting. Even though you may use the absentee ballot, and we encourage everyone, especially in the state of Georgia, to use the absentee ballot for this process. Because one thing we advocate voters registration, voters education, voters participation. And then we encourage you to make sure that everyone that you're connected to are in the process of voting. The Augusta branch NAACP, we engage in civil engagement, community and economic development. And I'm so grateful that the Black Chamber of Commerce has reached out to us so that we may become a partner with them in the process of making sure that our people get what they justly deserve. I believe I heard Chief James mention earlier about the coronavirus, and I think Mr. Welcher referred to it also. One of the things that we have to remember is that the coronavirus has put us in a defining moment pertaining to our healthcare system. It has exposed all of the flaws, all of the inequities, all of the discrimination that takes place in our healthcare system. So it's important for all of us to understand where we are in this point in time when it comes to our social well-being. Let me also share this with you, if you don't mind. The Augusta branch NAACP, we are working on helping people register for the census, because a lot of people don't realize that in a given year, there are over $675 billion that are being allocated for schools, for hospitals, for roads, for public works, and for other programs that will impact your neighborhood. So it's important that we encourage people to get out, get involved in what's going on, make sure that you take care of your 2020 census. Our national president tell us that we are to not only we fill out ours, but make sure that 10 other people fill out their 2020 census, because it impacts our community greater than any other community that we are associated with. Chief James mentioned a little earlier about some masks. We are in the process, with the help of Jeray Jenkins, who is our go-getter. The Augusta branch NAACP will be passing out masks to those who are the most vulnerable, those people who are homeless, those people that are of the age of 60 or above, those people who are suffering from high blood pressure and diabetes. And all of these things have a great impact on how well you handle the coronavirus. So I want to commend Jeray for that. We're partnering with some other agencies, and anyone that wants to partner with us, please don't hesitate to reach out to the NAACP so that we're able to make sure that everyone is protected, even though we have some people that are insisting on going back and opening up their businesses and not making sure that we have adequate testing done. So we want to encourage you to get involved in what's going on in your community. We definitely ask that you become a part of the NAACP. get involved, become active, because this is the only way that we're going to change the face of poverty in America. And let me say this, it's sad when we have elected officials who don't believe that you should have adequate health care, who don't believe that you should have a living wage, that don't believe that you should be able to access the same facilities that they access. So I want to just keep you encouraged concerning all of the challenges that we find ourselves with. And let me say one last thing, and I know we've been on for quite some time, but let me share this with you. When it comes to the coronavirus, and I heard Chief James mention that they're going to have a site out at Diamond Lakes, and I live in this area. But one of the flaws is that they're checking people to, because they're looking for the signs. I was listening to Dr. Sanjay Gupta earlier this morning, and he was saying that you can have the virus and not have the signs. So if you have to wait till you get the sign to get the test, then it might be too late for you. Because if you have any of the underlying problems dealing with high blood pressure, heart disease, diabetes, all of these things, then by the time you find out you got it, you may be at a very critical point. So I just want to thank Ms. Jenkins and Ms. West for this opportunity just to share. And please become part of the NAACP. I often say there are two type of people in this world. There are those who are members of the NAACP and those who wish they were members of the NAACP. Thank you, Ms. West.
Thank you, Reverend Ivy, for that information. And I'll turn it back over to you, Joe Ray. Joe Ray, you are on mute.
I apologize. I'm sorry. I was trying to make sure that I wasn't too loud. So I just wanted to tell everybody a sincere thank you for just being a part of this town hall meeting today. It meant a lot to me. There are a lot of things that I didn't always have the answers to, but everybody on this panel today has always been open to answering any questions that I have. But I know that I have to make sure that the information is sent out to the community as well. So once again, I just like to thank everybody. The board, Dr. Bing, when I met him, my team was volunteering, passing out food, and, we just had a connection. So if there's anybody, like he said, that wants to volunteer, please contact him. Chief James, he's done an amazing job, just having our first responders and supporting them, and Richmond County, like he said, I believe he said it was like 800 cases or something like that, similar to Augusta, Richmond County. I also wanted to thank, Hawthorne Welcher just for helping the citizens and even making sure that the homeless have been taken care of. Ronnie West, where would our small businesses be without you? Destiny Kincannon, the same thing. Thank you for always being such an inspiration and giving out great information in regards to small businesses and what they're going through today. Ramon Lampkin, thank him once again for the marshal for even having, the heart to just say, we're going to make sure that our people are taken care of. We understand that this is a crisis going on and some people just can't afford to take care of everything. So making sure that people are not evicted during this time. Like he said, that does not mean do not pay your rent, but that they're just not, pushing forward with the evictions at this time. And for my pastor, Melvin Ivy, it's been a pleasure working with him and joining the NAACP and learning and being the president of the Political Action Chair. If you guys need me for anything when it comes to inmates joining, anything, I'm here. So I just want to thank Ms. Ronique once again for opening up and having the Augusta Black Chamber of Commerce help us today and sponsor this town hall meeting. So with that, I just want to make sure that I didn't leave anybody out. So we had Chief James, Dr. Bing, Marshall Lampkin, Destiny Kincannon, Hawthorne Welcher, Melvin Ivy, and Ronnie West. I just want to tell you thank you from myself and from the citizens of Augusta.
Okay, well, thank you everybody for joining this roundtable town halls. What I guess, we did. I really appreciate all the participants we had on the panelists today. This is very valuable information for the community. I know that you guys have been asking a lot of things So we focus as a chamber on the businesses, but we always are worried about the social impact as well, because we know that that impacts our community greatly. So we're always wanting to make sure we get the information out to the community. So I truly thank for everybody that was on today. I don't want to go through names because I think I may forget somebody, but I'm going to try. Dr. Bean, Reverend Ivy, Chief James, Ramon Lampkin, Joe Ray Jenkins, Mr. Welcher. Who am I missing? Reverend Ivy. Anybody else that I missed?
Destiny.
Destiny. Okay. And so then we want to appreciate you. We thank you for all that you do for the community. Guys, I want to tell the community, be patient. It is a lot of leaders who are working in the background constantly to get out what you need. We are hearing your voice. We know that you need help. We are truly working as a community to make sure we get the things out to you. It does take time to get things up, as far as processing loans, taking the structure to get it up, getting the approvals from the commission, so forth. It is a lot of people working around the clock to make sure all these things happen. So I want to encourage you to be patient. We understand that you need the help. We are here for you as a community. We are doing everything we can as quickly as possible, even as a new organization as the chamber. You know, we are doing what we can as possible as well, trying to make sure that we can get this information out to you, advocate where we can, get on any calls that they request for us to get on. We're doing it. We're, as a board, as leaders, reaching out to every single organization we can, even if we're just a channel of communication right now. That is something that we want to do and make sure we interject into the Augusta community, because we are all one community and one voice. So that's all I have for you guys. It was a 2-hour roundtable. I appreciate Hawthorne for sticking through, and Joe Ray. It was really
I didn't know it was
great,
going to be long, but thank you guys just for being willing to stay on with us and give that information. I appreciate it more than you know.
Yes, yes, yes. So everybody have a great day. Please be safe. You got a lot of resources on this broadcast, so share this out if you watch this later on. You may have this information, but it may be somebody on your timeline that needs this information. You know, I always say that. So be sure to share out this broadcast. I will talk to you guys later. Be blessed.
Thank you.
Thank you.